For today, I will show you some of the demo on my environment about Spring Boot application and the integration with the console to retrieve the credential from CyberArk Vault. So normally in this use case, right, I am using Spring Boot application running on Kubernetes environment as one of the container. And by default, right, my application will, when it run, it will try to connect to the Kubernetes secrets to get the content of the username and password and push it to the environment parameters. And after that, it can use the parameters to connect to the database. So if you want to see more detail on my application, and you can access to my GitHub repository here. As you can see, the URL in the screen. And from here, you can see my detail, and this can also help you to build your own image to test it out, right? So for the detail of application, when you go to the detail of the source code here, right? My application actually is doing very simple thing. It will try to access to the database doing this query to get the name of the city and the population information and so to the screen. And to do that, it will need to have the information of the database username, database port, database name, passwords, URL, so on and so forth, right? And all of those information will be gotten from environment parameters as you can see in the configuration here, right? So when it's run, it is very simple, like this one, right? This is application itself. So when you refresh, right, you can see the name of random city with the population information. And of course, for the demo purpose, I also show the content of the username, password, so on and so forth here, just for the view, for the information, right? So you can see how it look, how it look like and how it work. In my Kubernetes environment, to run this application, this is my pod, right? And to run this application, this is my configuration for that. Let me show you some detail. So this is a container, right? Is running my one of my image here, and to be run, I will need to do the environment mapping for this container. With the database host will be mapped to this Kubernetes secret, right? Uh, and the same for the username, for the password, and so on, right? So all the information here will be mapped to the Kubernetes secret. And when this pod is running, it will try to connect to the Kubernetes secret to get the information of database, username, passwords, hotspot, so on, to connect to, right? So this is my Kubernetes secret information here. I have one of the secrets here, and when I click on that, right, you can see some of the information for the secret will be stored here. Let's say uh, if it's run this way, right, when you want to change your database username and password and so on, you need to go here and update the contents manually, so that application will be run, right? So for the integration between this one, right? Um, I want my application to get the secret from the external vault, so that we can easily doing the password rotation, so on and so forth, and apply the password policies there. So for that kind of integration, I will have this architecture. So you can see, right, from the application point of view, I will have another container. We will run together with the app container. In my case here, I will set it is as it will run as a init container. So this container will be run using CyberArk provide image with a console provider. And this image, this container, when it's run, it will connect to the console doing the first point is authentication using Kubernetes native information like a service account, like a namespace, so on and so forth, to authenticate with the Conjur. And after that, it will retrieve the information of secret, depends on the policy configured on Conjur, right? It can get the content of the secrets and check with the current content, and if something changed, right, it will update the new values to the Kubernetes secrets, so that after that the app container will be run and gets the right information to connect to the database. So that is how it works. And back to my uh, application from here, let me show you again from the post. And for this one, beside of the main application, as you can, as I show you, this is the main way. And besides the main container here, I also have the other is the console to Kubernetes secrets container. This is running by using the image provided by CyberArk. And from when this container is running, it will try to connect to the console and update the latest information to the Kubernetes secrets, so that we can easily update the information there using this container. So let me show you how it works, right? First of all, I would like to change the secret information from here first, right? So this is a secret in my Kubernetes environment. And from here, I will try to change, let's say, the username and the password to some other things, right? So you can see the value here is changed already. So if normally, if I run the application right now, the connects to the database will be failed because it has the wrong data password and username, right? Back to the application now, I will kill this pod to make it restart again, so that the init container will be run, right? So let me delete this pod, and you see that the pod is deleted, and the new one will automatically spin out, right? So we have the new one here, and when I click on the new application, I check for the log, right? And I go to the init container node. You can see here, right, the init container will try to connect to the console. First of all, it will do the authentication, and after that, it will retrieve the information from from console and update the information to the Kubernetes secret here. Right, so that is how the init container work. And after this one, the main container will be loaded and run, and it you can use the right information to connect to the database. When you check for the secret again here, right, and go to the data detail, you can see now the password have changed back to the right values from console, right? And of course, with this one application, we have the correct information to connect to the database, and you can see it can run as normal, and you can see the content of the database here. So that will be the end of my demo for this methods. Of course, with CyberArk, we also have the other methods to provide the integration to the SpringBoot as using the SDK, using the SpringBoot plugin, so on and so forth. But that one will be a different part of my demo. Hope to get that and show you soon. Thank you very much.